Hello, my name is Brian Cushing and welcome back to the Victorian Barroom. And today we are going to continue our exploration of Victorian drinks that were called punch, but they were basically the size of what we would think of as a cocktail. They apply the term cocktail a little bit more specifically, but it's kind of, if you were to be served one today, that's what you would call it. So this one comes from 1882 from the edition of Harry Johnson's work on bartending from that year, and it is a Kirschwasser Punch. Kirschwasser is something I was not familiar with until I started exploring this world of Victorian cocktails, but it is an unaged white cherry brandy from the Black Forest region of Germany. It's really not hard to get. You can go to Total Wine and ask for it. They might be a little bit confused, but when they look it up, they'll find it, and it's really neat stuff. It's like I say, it's completely white, unaged, and so it's a raw spirit. It has kind of a moonshininess about it, but it also has kind of a nice, pleasant cherry character. So we're going to balance that all out today with this Kirschwasser Punch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to need a kind of a larger glass, and so this is a large goblet, probably from the late 1860s, and it calls for a half a tablespoon of sugar. Now when I first tried this recipe, I tried to back that off because typically I like to really enjoy the taste of the spirit, but you actually do need that whole half of a tablespoon to really balance all these flavors out. So there's that. We're going to add some room temperature water. It doesn't really say how much, and so the easiest thing for this is just going to be to add twice the amount of water that you did of the sugar. So we're just going to put a tablespoon of water in there. And we're going to mix that up so it's all nice and dissolved. Now, a lot of people balk at this stuff and they say, well, can't you just substitute simple syrup? And you can, but quite honestly, you're going to be lacking a little bit. You're just not going to get the whole experience. Next, 1 or 2 dashes of lemon juice. 3 or 4 dashes of Yellow Chartreuse. If you've never tried Chartreuse before, this was one of the staples of the Victorian bar, and it's just wonderful stuff. It's been produced by the Carthusian monks for centuries. You can get it in yellow or green. The green is a higher proof, and it's also more potent. I tend to like that one better for sipping, but the yellow especially pops up a lot of times in these recipes. It's a very, very aromatic liqueur. And so we're going to stir all that up. Add some ice. Just a couple of cubes to be comfortable in your glass. And we're going to do a wine glass of our Kirschwasser. Now remember, a wine glass in the Victorian period is 2 ounces. This is an actual wine glass from the Victorian period. Comes in right at 2 ounces. Give that a good stir. And the neat thing about these is the garnish is often talked about as far as just what is in season. So it says berries in season. The berries are what's really going to make this cocktail good in the end. I'm going to use blackberries today. And as everything kind of mingles together and the berries and the spirit just kind of play with each other, by the time that you get to the bottom, you're going to have a nice, sweet, kind of berry flavored thing. And we're also going to go with an orange slice. And there's all different ways the illustrations show you can do that. I kind of like to just plant it in there and let it mingle with the spirit and serve it with a straw. And that is just a wonderfully aromatic, mingling, mellowed combination of things. Definitely take a taste of the Kirschwasser before you make this. It kind of tastes like not so smooth moonshine with some cherry flavor to it. It's not bad, but it is a rough, raw spirit. But once you get it like this, with that sugar, with that fruit, and the lemon and the chartreuse. It just all balances out into this wonderfully aromatic experience to where you can't even hardly tell where one ends and the next one begins. This is just a perfectly balanced, what we would call a cocktail, what they were calling a punch after the days of the big flowing bowls solidly waned. So here's an authentic taste of the 1880s. Again, this is from 1882, the edition of Harry Johnson's manual from that era. I've said it on this program before, I really feel like he was kind of the second Jerry Thomas. So these are all easily accessible ingredients. I hope you'll try it and let me know what you think about it, and stay with us for the next installment of the Victorian Barroom. Thanks for joining us today. We have a blast making these episodes, but they do take a lot of time and resources. And as the Victorians showed us, time is money. So if you might feel moved to show us some support, check that description down below to see how you might be able to do that. We sure would appreciate it. Also, don't forget to click subscribe and that bell icon to keep up with what we're doing right here on the Victorian Barroom. Thanks for being with us, and here's to you.